TravisMatthew.com.
Football fans, the countdown is on. The rookies are ready, the matchups are heating up, and it's time to plan your game day. TickPick has you covered with no hidden fees and the lowest price guarantee. So whether you're heading to a rivalry game or just want a weekend experience, you'll pay less and get more. TickPick gives you all-in-one pricing and the lowest price guarantee. They're so confident, they back it up with their best price guarantee. Visit TickPick.com and score your seats before the best matchups are gone. $10 off your NFL order with code FS10 on the TickPick app.
Bonus bucks. Once you win $1,000 in bonus bucks, you'll have more money to use on your fantasy leagues. Bonus bucks. The winning happens every weekday, right here
on 1300 The Zone.
Listen to Something Authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, good morning. That accident cleared out. 35 southbound at Howard Lane. It's now since gone. It's only about a 9 to 10 minute delay right now, but it is getting way better. All lanes are open. We do have an accident reported, though, DeSalle Road at Scottsdale Lane. So look for that, causing, again, no delays. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting Sabertooth Zip Ride or Pan for Gemstones. Take the Wild Cave Tour or the Hidden Passages Tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
A little time, a lot of savings. It's the tequila sale at Specs.
iHeartRadio presents Stuff You Should Know.
Caffeine can be really good for you and help a lot of things, and caffeine can be kind of bad for you.
It's a drug, and in its pure form, Chuck,
yeah.
It is a bitter-tasting crystalline powder.
Naturally, it's in the coffee bean and in chocolate and tea, but it's also added artificially in things like soda. Your body is enjoying the caffeine. It's blocking that adenosine. You're going to feel alert and awake. It's got that adrenaline going, and it's rewarding you with the dopamine. I mentioned the vicious cycle, the inevitable crash,
right?
Like any stimulant drug, and you want more of it. Eventually, it's going to affect your sleep patterns. All right, how about some health benefits?
Right.
They found everything from not develop Parkinson's disease to dropping your risk of various cancers.
Well, coffee actually is shown to reduce your risk of diabetes.
4 cups a day, 50% less chance of mouth and throat cancer.
You should eat more grapefruit because grapefruit contains something called narragin or narragin, and it actually slows the removal of caffeine from your brain.
Okay.
So you enjoy its effects longer.
Nice.
Yeah.
For the entire caffeine episode and everything else in the Stuff You Should Know universe, open the free iHeart app, search Stuff, and listen now.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland,
Leander, and Silsbee, Texas.
and wherever you may be listening. This is a Throwback Thirsty Thursday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. The NFL schedule has been released, and guess what game we're going to play today, folks? Texas baseball starts their final series of the regular season as they are on the road in Norman, Oklahoma. We'll talk with our guy Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 at 7:34. Special guest today at 8 o'clock. We will have Texas softball head coach Mike White as they get ready to host a regional this weekend. And the NBA playoffs are a little bit different with all these injuries. I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And, of course, we've got our guy Marcus behind the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. Also, if you want to voice your opinion, maybe just leave us a message. But you also will leave us a message by giving yourself a chance to win a pair of tickets a little bit later in the show by using the talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. You know, the one that's got us as number one in your preset and number one in your heart. And, of course, you'll get that opportunity. Well, let's get into the NBA because we're going to talk a lot about the NFL schedule. Don't worry about that, folks, because we're about to play that game. But here's the deal for me. I look at the games last night, and obviously with the injuries to Jason Tatum, everybody thought it was going to be over. They thought we don't have a chance to win, but I told you yesterday that they have a good record, 9-2. Now they're 10-2. After they won the game 127-102 at home at Boston. Jason Tatum had his surgery yesterday. Good to go. Everybody seems to be happy, except for the fact that he's not playing. But this is where the cream always rises to the top, and you might just have to find an unknown superstar to get it done.
Remember in games 2 and 4, it was Mikal Bridges offensively. Anunoby doubled, another block for Cornette. Throws himself into the stands to keep it. 6 block shots. Brown. Hauser. White. McBride closes. And Cornette is down low. Cornette's open. Hauser the assist.
You got to find people to step up when the best is needed. Luke Cornette came off the bench, played 26 minutes, had 10 points, but it was his impact on the boards that was key. He ended up having 9 rebounds. He was plus 20 in the plus-minus section. But you also look at what Derek White played 40 minutes, had 34 points last night. Jaylen Brown played big. It just seems like they play a little bit more free when Tatum's not in there. Not taking anything away from Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's one of the best players in the game. But they seem to be a little bit more free during that time.
It seems like that they realize we have to shoot more efficiently. We have to set better screen. They play more efficient. And there's less of an emphasis on who's ball dominant. You always say that the guys that are ball dominant like LeBron or Luka, Anthony Edwards, they draw so much attention to themselves that they take away from the team. And I feel like that is Jason Tatum too. As good a coach as Joe Mazzulla is, I feel like he may be able to coach better without a ball dominant player.
Well, and we'll see how this continues. I know it's just one game. The series is still New York leads it 3-2. But you look at the way they played. They still shot almost 50 3-pointers. Let's not get it twisted. They shot 49 3-pointers again last night. But when you have Derek White going 7 of 13, you had Jaylen Brown going 3 of 5 from three-point land. You had Horford, another guy that brought something today or last night that he hadn't been showing up in the earlier game. So you get that piece of it too.
Focus is better.
Everybody stepped up. Porzingis, non-existent. The unicorn might as well have been the Loch Ness monster because nobody saw him. So, I mean, he did not show up. But the other people, Peyton Pritchard doing his thing, you know, the efficiency to your point.
Cornette played out of his mind.
And those are the types of things that you start to look at and say, all right, well, I got a piece here. I got a piece here, and we all got to piece this together. Now you look at what New York was not able to do. They were absolutely terrible. And the fact that Jalen Brunson actually fouled out of the basketball game last night told you everything that you needed to know about it.
Yeah, well, I thought worse than Jalen fouling out because he was playing out of necessity.
Yeah.
Anobi, he might as well have been the Loch Ness Monster. Or if he was not the Loch Ness Monster, then he was Sasquatch because nobody never saw him either. Like, he just disappeared, man. He played the worst I've seen him play since he's been a New York Knick.
Yeah.
I mean, just completely abysmal.
Well, I think sometimes people look at it a little bit differently, and they looked at their best player, quote unquote, being out. Right? Jason Tatum. So if I'm the Knicks, I'm thinking, all right, we can go out here and win this game. Did you see that Crimson Mask? Did you see the Crimson Mask yesterday? That was
pro wrestling. He got busted open.
He did. We were sitting there and everybody had their hair down, but I was watching it. I was like, oh my God, his face is busted open. That's like a boxing cut. Right above the eye, there. I was like, my goodness. But he stayed in there and balled out. I mean, he still continued to play. So now the series goes one more game, and Boston still has some life, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it in New York. In the later game, we got a chance to see the end of the Golden State Warriors as Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, who put some respect on Julius Randle's name. He has shown up with 29 points. Anthony Edwards had 22, but he had 12 assists. He was just doing his thing. And there were some other pieces that were being very, very helpful during this time.
Up ahead, Randle. Randle's been running the floor. Ball's moving now. Edwards steps into a three.
And then you start to look at them pushing and putting pressure on that defense with Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. You know, this team is about to get blown up, but they were just keeping it going, and Julius Randle was a key part of that.
Here's Green in the corner. Green, they're good. McDaniels up ahead. Randle running the floor. Randle taking out all comers. Here goes. And one.
They hooping, man. They were hooping in Minnesota.
Yeah, Randle was undeniable. That he played a game like you know that he was wanting to close it out.
Yeah.
And very few guys can take their level up a notch. And that he proved a lot to me and showed a lot to me last night.
And I believe last night was the point to be made that let's put them out of their misery.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and we'll get some time off because they still got to play in Denver. So we'll get some time off. Let's go ahead and shut this down. And that's exactly what they were able to do. I do know this. They've got a problem. They got to figure out what they're going to do with this squad in Golden State. Jonathan Kuminga, for whatever reason, was not playing. They weren't putting him in. Since Steph Curry got hurt, he's been playing his behind off. He's been their leading scorer. He's the most athletic dude that they have on the team because when you start to look at the age of all these guys, they're not even letting them play.
Do you remember me telling you that before the season started?
Yeah.
And I was like, man, because he was injured. He started the season injured.
Yep.
I said, when Kuminga comes back, you was like, who? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the dude is talented.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, Golden State has to figure out, when does the shift in power take place? Are you going to allow Steph Curry to be the number one guy? Because I think you have to build around Kuminga. He needs shooters around him.
Well, I believe Steph is going to still be the guy. They're not going to do anything off of him, but it's the Draymond Green situation.
There you go.
That's going to have to change. He's going to end up being out of there. What are you doing with Looney? Gary Payton Jr., he looked to be inefficient as well, and he used to be that lockdown defender that you wanted on your squad.
Played 6 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you start looking
no
at
points,
these.
No stats, zero.
Yeah, and you start to look at this team, and you're like, what are they going to do? Have we seen the last of the Golden Girls from Golden State?
Wow.
Possibly. And you look at Draymond's beard, his stuff is whiter than both mine and yours combined. So he's going to have to do something too. We're just getting started here on the morning kickoff. Busy day right here on AM 1300 The Zone. Coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys got their schedule, and Troy Aikman is moonwalking like Michael Jackson. We'll tell you all about it right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
The voice of the Horns. Craig Way on 1300 The Zone. Weekdays at 2.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
So the accident at I-35 northbound at Tack Ridge Boulevard, right, it's now been moved to the shoulder. The lanes are all clear, about a 3-minute delay. And we have debris blocking the center lane. This is going to be I-35 northbound at Onion Creek Parkway, causing no delay at this time. We also have an accident reported to Saul Road at Scottsdale Lane. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends June 14th. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out?
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hi,
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. We've been providing custom electronic systems for Central Texas for more than 36 years. And
Old man, I think they all know who you are and what your company does. This is Camilla McKay. The old man believes in big fun and big ideas. He can make dreams come true, so why not dream big? I've been up in Boston, but I know the old man and all his friends and fellow radio heads have been spreading the holiday spirit here in Texas. Why should we stop there? Keep spreading the good feelings all over. Audiovisual Consultations carries all major brands of televisions and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores. And you don't have to leave your house. Just like Santa, they deliver the gifts to you.
yeah, I like that, kid. Throw a party, hang out with your friends, catch a concert.
That's all fun and good, but can we get back to the business? You can give us a call at 512-255-8678 or visit our website at avconsultations.com for some cool electronics.
Oh, now you're forgetting something.
And as always, hug your kids. We only pretend to be annoyed. Watch some games with your friends and make love to whoever the hell you want.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alt 2K. A commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s.
It just takes some time, little girl in the middle of the ride.
With Foo Fighters, Weezer, Linkin Park, Green Day, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more.
Someone like you.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alt 2K, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
Texas baseball plays here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Mike Hardball, world's strongest man, Lee Mark Henry. Of course, our guy Marcus holding it down. Coming up at 7:34, we will have our guy Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 as he breaks down Texas getting a new recruit, but he'll also talk some Texas baseball as well. And at 8 a.m., we will have the head coach of the Texas softball team as they get ready to host their regional for the third consecutive time. We'll have Mike White talking all things softball at 8 a.m. So you don't want to miss that. But right now, let's get into the conversation about the Dallas Cowboys. That's right, folks. The Dallas Cowboys schedule was released yesterday. And let's just say a lot of folks really, really want to get those tickets for the Dallas Cowboys because they're always the hottest ticket. Whether you like them or not, the Cowboys are still the team that everybody wants to see, whether they want to see them get beat or they want to see them win. But the most important thing is the Cowboys and their schedule is all about prime time games. So guess what, folks? We're going to play that game of how many wins do you believe that your team will get? And obviously it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys.
I dare you to sing that again.
How many wins will your team get? So they have the Cowboys at over under 7.5 wins. Over under 7.5 wins.
Wow.
Now, mind you,
that's
the
low
Cowboys,
expectation.
very low. So if I'm you and you like to put a little wager on that, I'm definitely taking the over. How can you not?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
7.5? That's free money. That is free money.
If I was being disrespectful, I would say they would win 9 games. That's disrespectful.
It seems like you're being disrespectful because, in case you hadn't noticed, the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
And you know,
they've been saying that for 30 years.
Just so you replay this in your mind. Yesterday, we played a little soundbite of our guy, Troy Aikman. And for those that missed it, here it is again.
And blessed. We got 10 seconds left. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year?
I'm going to say Buffalo finally wins it.
Oh,
Cowboys.
Now, he did that tongue-in-cheek, as always. You know Troy Aikman.
Cowboy.
He's got to be a Cowboy fan. Joe Buck said he believed that Buffalo's going to win the Super Bowl, huh? Is that what he's saying? That's what he thinks?
That's what he's saying.
But this is what Troy Aikman said yesterday as the schedule was being released.
I did already see that you picked your Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. I know you were
Well,
real serious about that.
People tend to get excited and overreact to everything these days, which
man.
you get kind of used to. I was half joking because Michael Strahan was in the studio, but I do think this. I do believe. Now I understand the Eagles. They're the cream of the crop. Washington, I believe they'll be better. But I do think Dallas. I think they've been flying under the radar a little bit this offseason, and rightfully so. They don't deserve a lot of talk at this point. But I do believe that they're going to be, not just because they were injured last year, I think they're going to be a better football team this year, and I think they may surprise some people. I mean, I know in Dallas there's always talk about a Super Bowl, and who knows? I mean, it's been a while, as we know. But I do think they're going to contend and be stronger than they've probably gotten credit up to this point.
Okay. I like that. Troy. Way to backpedal a little bit, moonwalk like Michael Jackson.
Oh, he's smooth with it.
Yeah.
Smooth criminal.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. But, all right, so here we go. We're about to play this game. How many wins do you see the Cowboys getting?
Do you want a little
We
game
got
show
some game
music?
show music?
Let's get us a little
We're going to
bit.
go old school with this one here.
All right.
Here we go.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out which game show this is. Which one is that?
The dating game.
Well, here we go. We're going to date this game right here.
All right.
First game, Philadelphia Eagles, win or loss?
Win.
Is that? Mark says win.
I said win.
All right, I'm going with Mark's picks
It's the
right
first
here.
game.
This is the picks for you. New York Giants at home.
Win.
At Chicago.
Win.
Well, they already undefeated. Week 4, Green Bay.
Loss.
At the Jets.
Win.
Okay. Carolina Panthers.
Win.
I'm with you on that one. At home against the Washington Commanders.
Loss.
Wait, that has to be at the Commanders. Because they would be playing. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. At home against the Commanders. You said loss. Yeet. At the Denver Broncos.
Loss.
Really? Okay. Arizona Cardinals.
Loss. They got Connor, man. I'm not betting against him.
Okay. A bye week, win.
Win.
Week 11 at Las Vegas.
Win.
Okay. Back at home against the against the Eagles.
Loss.
So you have, okay. All right. You got them winning on the road and then losing at home. Okay. Kansas City Chiefs at home.
Loss.
Hey. At Detroit.
Loss.
Uh-oh. Minnesota Vikings.
Loss.
Man, we're going on a losing streak. At Washington.
Win.
Okay. And then finally, at the Giants.
Win.
Okay. If I can count this up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins, Mark.
Oh, my goodness.
7 wins, Mark.
That just broke my heart. It's absolutely broken.
You have them at 7 and 10? 7 and 10?
Yeah. Again.
Oh, my God.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I have to
6, 7. Yep. No. Yeah, because you got them losing that final game.
I have to go to the bathroom. I need to throw up.
What?
That just killed my heart.
As he told us, I'll be disrespectful if I don't say 9.
God.
Well,
and you can flip the coin.
No, you went straight in on that.
I know. I'm saying it with my chest.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like to me.
On paper, you
and
were
the
looking
reason
at
that
this.
the reason that I say that is the Cowboys, the teams that have the serious running games are going to give them problems. I love the fact that they're going to play the Eagles first because I know that they have something to prove and they're going to go after them. They're going to split with the teams in the East.
What I find interesting is you have them losing to Washington, and who else was it?
Well, he
had them losing 2 home games to 2 division teams and winning 2 road games to those same teams.
Yeah, and that just the Cowboys are bizarro world like that.
Well, Troy Aikman has got to want to have a word with you. Because Troy just told them that they're going to the Super Bowl, and you got them right here sitting at the exact same record that they had last year. But now, mind you, Dak Prescott has an unbelievable record against that NFC East.
Your face changed. Your face changed when I said they were going to beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Or they lose to the Cardinals, and your face wrenched when I said that they would lose to Minnesota.
Yep.
Why?
Because I believe that both of those teams, even though we don't know what J.J. McCarthy is going to be for Minnesota. By that time, he'll be good to go. It'll be late in the season if he's healthy. But I look at this Arizona Cardinal game, and the only thing that really scares me is
Kyler Murray coming home.
He never loses at Texas Stadium. I mean, at Cowboy Stadium.
That
state
was one of the factors when I thought about it.
But I don't think that is going to be the answer, and it is a primetime game as well. Monday Night Football against the Arizona Cardinals. Cowboys win that game. I got Cowboys winning 10 games, 9 to be safe. I'll tell you who I believe that they will beat out of your numbers. And we got Eric Henry of Horns 24/7 coming up next. Talk all things Texas Longhorns right now on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio. I'm still distraught right now on AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, we see how that debris blocking the center lane. This is going to be 35 northbound at Onion Creek Parkway. You also have another accident reported still in the making at DeSalle Road at Scottsdale Lane. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Graduation caps are fixing to be flying and summer plans are heating up. So why not kick it all off with a brand new Chevy from Covert Hutto? Check out deals like $12,250 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST, $4,000 off of MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Tahoe Premier, and $4,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Equinox LT. See dealer for details. Covert has been family owned since 1909 because trust, value, and Texas pride never go out of style. CovertChevyHutto.com. Together, let's drive.
In today's Marketers Report, Erica Taylor, Chief Marketing Officer of Genentech, weighs in on audio's ability to reach any audience.
Everyone is listening somewhere, somehow. So it's a great way to take something very precise in what we're trying to do to reach patients with something that I think we can all agree is somewhat broad in reaching many, many different audiences.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia can get more people to hear your message than anyone else. For better results for every budget, visit iHeartAdvertising.com.
Listen to what Dave Ryan says about Andro 400.
Andro 400, I really love it. It's amazing to me that I feel so good. I've lost 50 pounds. I was a size 38 waist. I've gone down to a 32 waist. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy to walk, energy to play sports. Everything is starting to work again. And feels like I'm 25. My wife is happy. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man. I'm taking this stuff to the grave with me.
Men, have you lost energy and gained belly fat? Are you feeling stressed out? Fight back with Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to increase your testosterone. For over a decade, Andro 400 has helped men lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel 20 years younger. Go to andro400.com, andro400.com, or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit FredLoya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-970-8855. 800-970-8855. 800-970-8855.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
The full NFL schedule is out. Cowboys will be featured on Thursday, a league record 4 times, including a Thanksgiving matchup against the Chiefs at home. Texans will visit the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football Week 14. Astros beat the Royals, take 2 of 3 in Houston. Timberwolves knocked off the Warriors to advance to their 2nd straight West Finals. Celtics beat the Knicks to stay alive. I'm Ron Moss.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Cordell and Cordell.
Cordell and Cordell, Divorce and Family Law, 866-323-7529, 866-323-7529, 866-323-7529. Cordell and Cordell, a partner you can count on. CordellCordell.com.
It's the Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
It's Thursday, so my guy is taking a little time to go back to the state of Florida to relax, but he's still on the grind. It is our guy, Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. You can follow him at Eric C. Henry _ and E. I know that you're on a little vacation, but still working. And the news came out that Max Ballou is listed as probable ahead of this series. Take us behind the latest that you've heard on Max Ballou.
Oh, man, as always, appreciate y'all having me on. You know how it is, no days off. Yeah, little vacation, but no days off. But to your question, Hardge, on Max, yeah, you know, it's really interesting that, I guess first off, to bring the listeners behind the scenes, you know, Max, we first saw him prior to the Florida series, the availability there, he took some, you know, extended BP, nothing too crazy, but was just, you know, getting some swings out there in front of the media, right? And, you know, that was kind of the first sign that, okay, he seems like he could be trending towards a return. Obviously, if they felt like it was something that he wouldn't be ready sooner than later, you could do that behind closed doors in the cage. So seeing him get out there, take some swings, Jim Schlossnagle said that if his recovery trended in the right direction, which it has, and that was kind of the feeling, you know, Mark and Hardge, that when he got injured, the you know, safe figure was to say he was out for the remainder of the season. And in essence, he has been out for the remainder of the season because he's slated to make his return prior to the last series of the regular season. But the expectation was that if his rehab and progression from the thumb injury, which he suffered at Missouri, trended in the right direction, it wouldn't end his entire 2024-2025 season as far as postseason play. and that has all come to fruition. So it remains to be seen whether it's going to be in a DH role or at some point. I mean, I would think that'd be most likely just to get him some swings, but it seems very likely we will see Max Blue at some point with the series starting today and ending Saturday.
Well, the thing about it is too, when I sit back and I think about this squad, if he comes back and he has to play the DH position, then that moves Ethan Mendoza, because Ethan Mendoza still isn't back yet. We don't know the latest on him either. So he's been doing the DH role. Then you have to look at what the outfield's going to look like with the emergence of Jonah Williams, Will Gasparino playing center field. Tommy Farmer has been a mainstay since the very beginning of the season. So this is, the rich get richer, so to speak, right? You're screaming from the yacht, as our guy Sark loves to say, when you start to look at the embarrassment of riches. So it's going to be a juggling act, wouldn't you say, for Coach Schlossnagle to figure out where he's going to move these guys?
Yeah, I couldn't help but laugh, man, because I thought I could get, 6 weeks away from that Steve Sarkisian saying about crying from the yacht. I'm just messing with you, Hardge. But no, hey, on a serious note, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I actually threw that out there on our Horns 24/7 message boards. I was just curious from the fan perspective, what would they do with the lineup? Because I think you hit the nail on the head, right? I asked Ethan Mendoza probably about 3 weeks ago how he felt. He said that he felt he was good to return to the field, but he's just waiting to get the all clear from, the trainers and the folks that make those decisions. But to your point, yeah, this is the way I would do it personally, right? I think, you have to go Ethan at second. You're probably looking at Casey Borba still at third. And then I think in my mind, and, you hate to kind of stifle some of the potential of Jonah Williams, but I think you have to go A-Rod back at DH, Adrian Rodriguez back at DH. You try to see, and this, of course, if Max isn't going to play the field, right? If Max is not going to play the field, then he'll DH. But if not, I would go Adrian Rodriguez at DH and then kind of leave the outfield as is. But if Max is going to DH, then you probably can put A-Rod to keep Casey Borba at third. I think you put A-Rod back in the outfield and then kind of maneuver as needed from there.
We all know that sports is an emotional game, and Texas, took some hits when they got thin. Don't you think that now that you have Max coming back, that this will be one of those things where everybody galvanizes and we see Texas make a big run?
Yeah, no, Mark, most definitely. And this is the thing that I've said to people, I got asked this question a couple times post, Texas losing 2 out of 3. And the question's, is this where Texas is coming back to earth? And I think the answer to that is yes, but that's not a bad thing, Hardge and Mark, in my mind. Here's why I say that. There's no doubt they overachieved a little bit. I mean, if you take the reigning Big 12 Player of the Year out of the lineup, you think there is going to be a drop-off, right? So I think in a sense, Texas may have quote-unquote overachieved, while Jim Schlossnagle may recoil at that statement. He'll say we play to a standard, not a scoreboard. I do think in a sense, Texas probably played a little bit over their heads. Everything came together, not just guys stepping up at the plate. Jared Spencer goes down. They get Ruger Riojas. Wasn't even really a full-time starter in his career, was a relief guy, middle innings guy at UTSA. He is, playing, I don't want to say over his head, but he steps up his game, right? So in a sense, yeah, Texas was playing a little bit over their head. Now, they're starting to suffer some of the effects of not having Spencer and Max Blue. So, yes, to your point, Mark, you get Max Blue back in the lineup. I think the fact that you get him some swings right before postseason play is huge, and I think it'll be a huge addition to the lineup.
We're talking to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. Make sure you follow him at Horns 24/7, but especially on his social at Eric C. Henry _. And I'm gonna go to the pitcher's mound real quick. Overall, Texas obviously had its 26-5 mark at home, 40-10 on the year, and 20-7 in SEC play. 2-game lead still in the SEC. That's why a lot of people are projecting them to be the number 1 overall seed still. But Coach said something yesterday right here on AM 1300 The Zone, and if you missed that interview, get over to our podcast page, that Luke Harrison is going to be the Saturday starter. And initially I was like, wait, what? What are we doing? But then I went back and thought about it. They're also trying to set up the rotation for the SEC tournament as well as the NCAA tournament, and keeping Luke on a Saturday gives him the proper amount of rest.
Right. Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. That's one of the things. If you just look at it in a vacuum, you say, all right, well, that seems a little fishy, right? The kind of what's the rationale behind that, but you nailed it, right? And that's one of the things, to be quite frank, Hardge, about Jim that I've found kind of fascinating as a cover is he's always thinking 2 and 3 steps ahead, and not doing so, at the expense of the game directly in front of him. But when you see him make certain moves or make certain lineup changes or just tinker with the rotation, as I've gotten to know this year, seemingly there is a reason for that maybe is not directly in front of our face, but maybe a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks down the road, that's the purpose for that, right? So, I think everything you said there lines up. And quite frankly, again, I think it's going to be interesting as Texas gets into the SEC tournament and then, the postseason play at the NCAA tournament, College World Series, if they're able to get there. I still think Texas's pitching, of course, listen, Jared Spencer's a huge loss. We're not going to, try and kick it under the rug. But I still think Texas's pitching lines up in a way where I wouldn't want to face him, right? I mean, I'm not saying, it's something that's completely unbeatable, but just looking at the performance of the arms under Max Winter throughout the entire year, I still feel like that's an advantage Longhorns in my mind.
Hey, man. As always, you always bringing and dropping that knowledge. Make sure you get over to Eric C. Henry _ on social media. And, of course, Horns 24/7. Enjoy your time. And we'll be chopping it up again next week as we'll be talking about SEC tournament play, my friend.
Appreciate it, fellas.
There
Get
he
you
is.
one of them Oblivion burgers.
There he is.
No doubt.
Eric Henry of Horns 24/7. Coming up next, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but we have to talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
One time when Bill Schoening and I were doing a Tuesday night game, and there was an umpire behind the plate, Tom Jenkins. And Tom was a rather corpulent fellow, and he lets a pitch go in there. And you hear this pop again. He goes, ball two. Then crystal clear that our field mic picked up was some fan yelling, Jenkins, you fat.
Only on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, we see how that debris blocking the center lane. This is going to be 35 northbound at Onion Creek Parkway. You also have another accident reported still in the making at DeSalle Road at Scottsdale Lane. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. For top quality garage doors that won't break the bank, you can count on Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Their sales reps will find the door you want, not the one they want to sell. For the best prices and the best service, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. But hurry, protest deadlines end this week. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%. And that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now, free. Don't pay unless you save. But hurry, protest deadlines end this week. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000.
You want to see basketball played the way it's supposed to be? Well, check out Ice Cube's Big Three all summer long. Fast, physical, and fun. Catch the best professional 3-on-3 players in the world live every weekend on CBS and Vice.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi. Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad, on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
I want you to ask yourself right now, how am I actually doing? Because it's a question that we rarely ask ourselves. All of May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, and on the psychology of your 20s, we are taking a vulnerable look at why mental health is so hard to talk about. Prepare for our conversations to go deep.
I spent the majority of my teenage years and my 20s just feeling absolutely terrified.
So this Mental Health Awareness Month, open the free iHeartRadio app, search the psychology of your 20s, and listen now.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Texas softball is heating up. Catch every pitch.
Field back goes Dill with a warning track to the wall. It's gone.
As the Horns take on the SEC, search Retro Austin on the free iHeartRadio app and listen to Texas softball all season long.
Oh, yeah. Now's the time for you to get a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Alice Cooper and Judas Priest, October the 25th. That's right, at the Germania Insurance Amphitheater. All you got to do is get over to that iHeartRadio app, search for AM 1300, The Zone, and tap that red microphone and leave us the word Alice. Alice is your word for the day to go see Alice Cooper and Judas.
Why do you sound like the monster truck salesman?
Because it's part of that too, brother.
I mean, that's, if it was going to be rock and roll, going to see Alice Cooper, I'm thinking you would be more old school 70s, 80s rock and roll DJ.
Well, I don't have my hair like
that. Hey, guys, we're going to see Alice Cooper down at the Sportatorium.
There you go. Yeah, okay. Well, you go start reading these then. There you go. Let you do that.
Give it up.
That's right. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll be joined by Mike White, the Texas softball head coach, as they get ready for a big-time regional here in Austin, Texas. They'll be making it their third consecutive regional here in Austin. I'm excited to talk to Coach White about fast-pitch softball. Okay.
Before you get to that, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you ever hear the story of of Alice Cooper biting the head off the bat?
That would be Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, was that Ozzy?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Maybe that's why I keep that radio voice like that.
You
right?
might want to keep doing that one, player.
I said I was not going to talk about it.
But I wanted you to.
You did. You did.
I ask you, please, come
You
back
did.
to us.
Okay.
You're back now.
Yeah, I'm back.
Don't spill it out. Spill the beans.
Well, the Bill Belichick story just won't go away from me. He continues to stay in the news. They had ACC media days, and Bill was talking again. And, of course, they had to ask him about his girl, old Jordan, who was second runner-up in Miss Maine pageant here just recently. I guess she was running.
She was
again.
second or third?
To me, second runner-up means you were third.
Right. I thought that's third.
She wasn't a champ. And Bill, I thought you only have championships, dog. I just wanted to see, do you like apples? We wanted you to like apples. So here's Bill Belichick on his girlfriend and the fact that she has nothing to do with North Carolina athletics.
Way and make the most of it.
All right, so I know that you're aware that your relationship with Jordan Hudson has been a headline over the last few months. And all of the specifics aside, because a lot has come out in the last couple of days, how do you think that impacts your ability to coach this football team, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, that's, really off to the side. It's a personal relationship, and she doesn't have anything to do with UNC football. I'm excited to be back in the coaches' meetings and getting ready for, June, and then August when we get to training camp. So June will be a big recruiting month for us, and then August we'll start to get ready for the season.
And I know that you're not on social media and you don't read as much as everybody else has seen, but when it comes to having conversations with your players, have you been able to talk about any of those things and the specifics of what's going on off the field?
Yeah, no, I talk to the players, and when we meet with them, when they come in to visit and so forth, sure.
And how have those conversations gone?
Yeah, great. Well, again, we want to make the players the best that they can be, provide them the best opportunity on and off the field. And that's what we're about at UNC. And that's what we do the best for every single player we have.
Man, that's what you call deflecting, a deflecting answer. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm going to answer like this. He just basically told her, it's okay, and we're not going to answer that question.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
Yeah.
We're not answering that question.
Man, okay.
Don't ask me again.
So you sent me an article a while back saying, look, man, this is the situation with what's happening. It seems to me at North Carolina that they have kind of worn out their welcome.
They have.
They have created a firestorm of epic proportions right now. And
they outright lied. They outright lied, Hardge.
Yes.
Let's not gloss over the fact, the thing that I sent you, our brethren in the media, sports media, Torre, was the one that covered the deal.
Right.
And the University of North Carolina University,
mm-hmm.
They said the day before this article came out that we're not going to have anything else to do with Jordan. She is banned from the facilities. She is banned from having anything to do with North Carolina University athletics. And then the next day, no, we didn't say that.
Yeah.
Torre said, so I'm a liar. I sat and talked to you guys and y'all told me this.
Yeah.
And now you're saying I'm a liar? What is that doing for my respectability in sports media?
Yeah.
You're calling me a liar. He's got a good case. If he wanted to go after them, he can.
Well, I don't think he would be. I don't think.
I don't think he would.
Right. I don't think it's to that point just yet. But you also look at it and you say, okay, we're having conversations about this guy, Bill Belichick, at the college level, and he hadn't even coached a game yet.
Bro, my son would be out of there so fast.
Really?
The 16th, the portal, when that portal opened on May 16th, he would have been out of there. I wouldn't be wanting to deal with this foolishness. Like, I thought it was bull from the beginning. Anyway.
You thought the relationship was?
Yeah, I'm now the relationship. I can care less, but the fact that he allowed her to come on the field and talk to his coaches and talk to people involved, relay message to players, was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, they've already 86'd the story, or 86 the Hard Knocks version of North Carolina because of this situation. So we shall see. I didn't want to talk about it. Mark made me talk about it, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But what I will
But everybody wants to know.
They do. Coming up next, they want to know about Texas softball, as Mike White will be joining the show to talk all things regional right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Everybody, it's Mike Hardball Hardge.
And this is the world's strongest man, Mark Henry.
And we're here to talk to you about MyPlates.com.
Tell them about it, Mike.
Mark, when you're on the road and looking at the vehicles, what's the first thing you see?
Well, I'm usually a nice car, but the plates, baby.
At MyPlates.com, you can create a plate that shows exactly who you are.
Like the one I'm thinking about, the world's strongest man. Had to let him know.
Come on, you can get colors, styles, slogans. My Plates let you flex your Texas pride your way.
Big truck, big attitude, and it's better to have a plate to match it.
Hit up myplates.com today and put in the promo code The Zone. That's The Zone, all one word, for up to $55 in savings, and make your ride look as good as you do.
Or even better, myplace.com.
That's the way to go. And tell them Hardball Hardge
and Mark Henry
sent you.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are reigning. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right. Customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Earl Campbell here for my good friends at Austin Shoe Hospital. Austin Shoe Hospital has been repairing my favorite boots and shoes for over 30 years. They are the best Western boot repair company in Texas and can repair any boot brand or style. Visit the master cobblers at Austin Shoe Hospital and they will bring all your shoes, boots, and bags back to life. If you can wear it, they can repair it. Oh, yes, and hook 'em horns.
Visit AustinShoeHospital.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horns. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We talked about Boston getting the dub, Minnesota sending the Warriors packing. We also talked about the Cowboys and their win-loss record, and Mark has them only winning 7 games, and my stomach hurts.
8 because I made a mistake with that last one with the Giants.
And we talked to Eric Henry of Horns 24/7, but this is a very special moment for us here on the morning kickoff. Not only will you be able to hear the Texas Longhorn women's softball team take on Eastern Illinois tomorrow, but you'll get it to hear it right here on AM 1300 The Zone. And I am pleased to have Coach Mike White of the Texas softball team joining us for the first time on the morning kickoff. Good morning, Coach. How are you doing?
Good morning. Great. Thank you. Just getting some scouting in, getting ready for the weekend.
I'm excited about this weekend because I've been talking to Mark about fast pitch softball, a lot of it. We've been trying to understand, learn him on what is going on with this softball, the pitching, and you yourself was one heck of a pitcher as well.
Yeah, that's right. I spent a number of years playing the men's open league and played for 2 countries, played for New Zealand and also played for the United States there in '96.
So let me ask you this, because, it is a unique situation for the Texas softball team. Here you are finishing up the season 46-10, 16-8 in conference. And the time in the SEC was something that everybody was anticipating. But were you expecting it to go to this well for you guys in the first season?
Yeah, I think so. We felt like we had a really good team and a program and had the depth, and especially in the pitching and the hitting. We've done really well in those areas. I think we led the SEC in hitting, batting average. That was good. And I think we were second or third in pitching. We just unfortunately lost a couple of games here and there and got swept at Oklahoma that cost us the championship.
No doubt. And for the last couple seasons, it's always been Texas and Oklahoma battling it out, whether it was in the Big 12, whether it was for the national championship, or even the time in the SEC. But this weekend, you guys get to host for the 3rd consecutive time, hosting the regional starting tomorrow at 3:30. You will be taking on Eastern Illinois. What is the scouting report on Eastern Illinois?
Yeah, I think their strength of their team is their pitching. They have a couple of kids. One of the pitchers hits the upper 60s, 68, and then the other kid has a lot of rise balls in the mid 60s. So they've, for a number 4 seed, they got some really good pitching. And then, of course, they have a lot of short gamers, which we mean by slapping and bunting, and they put a lot of pressure on defenses.
And, Coach, I was thinking about this, too, because watching the game and the evolution of the game, so to speak, there's a lot of power that has been involved in this game, a lot of big power from a lot of different types of hitters. And you talk about the slap hitters, but some of them can take it out of the yard. But one of my favorite players on your team is 2 of them, Mia Scott and Reese Atwood. Atwood has done so well behind the plate through her time here. And then you had Mia, who's done pretty much everything at this university.
Yeah, that's right. Mia's going to be in our record books in a lot of areas. I think definitely for runs scored, and then also in the batting average, doubles, triples. She's going to have those numbers behind her, be in the top 5 for sure. And she's been one of those generational type players that you like to have on your program. We're going to be sorry to miss her. At least with Reese Atwood, we have one more year of her, and she can really bomb it. Has been really steady for us and a good leader on our program.
Coach, you talk about, your players having their time end and she's got one more year. Like, is there people in the pipeline that you have in mind that we can look forward to seeing? Is there somebody that stands out and that will advance the program?
Yeah, I think it's people like Alyssa Sneed, Mateus coming in. Hannah Wells, a dual pitcher hitter, which we haven't had one of those yet through the program. She's going to be exciting to watch, and she's a kid that's been hitting upper 60s on her velocity and her pitching. So we're going to welcome her into the program. JC Sneed, another kid that's kind of follow in the Mia Scott kind of lineage. You got speed, power, left-hand hitter, can play some really good defense in the infield. So those type of players are coming in, and we're excited about the depth of the kids coming into the program.
We're talking to the head coach of Texas softball, Mike White, as his team prepares to host the regional this weekend. And, Coach, looking at this regional bracket and who's all here, Michigan is a 38-19 team. They will be taking on UCF, 33, 22-1. And, of course, Eastern Illinois, your first opponent in this matchup, a 34-20. What is it about Michigan and UCF that makes them so tough?
Well, UCF we know quite well. They've got a freshman pitcher who throws a lot of changeup and is really good. It's been very effective for them. Has a low 1 point something. So they're tough in that area, and then have some good hitting throughout the lineup. Coached by Cindy Ball, who's an excellent coach, and of course, having played them previously last year they were really pretty tough. And then Michigan, I think, is probably the toughest number 3 seed in the country. They recently won the Big Ten championship. We're ranked 8th and ended up beating a lot of the best teams in that conference to win the championship. And they have really good pitching and some really good hitting power. A number of kids that hit home runs. So it's going to be a tough matchup for us, but we're excited about the opportunity.
Well, I'm also excited about the opportunity to see some of your players get back into the swing of things. Obviously, the season didn't end the way that you wanted to, falling to Texas A&M in that matchup. But once you got back home and regrouped, saw what the bracket play was going to be like, what was some of the messaging from your team to each other and, of course, from you to the team?
Yeah, I just, leave it all out in the field. Just do it for the seniors. We have 6 graduating seniors this year, and, we don't want to finish at home. We want to finish, hopefully, in Oklahoma City, and that's the challenge for us right now is to bring our best softball. It is a new season. Basically, let's flip the page. Let's go. We were ranked number 1 for a large part of the season, so the talent's there. We just got to put it together in our mind and come out and play attacking softball and, eliminate some of the mistakes we've been making lately and get some better pitching, to be quite frank. Our pitching's kind of been a little suspect the last few weeks, and, definitely the ability with Tegan Kavan, who's one of the best pitchers in the country, and so we're going to need some big outings from her this weekend.
Coach, I want to volunteer my co-host as a spokesman, to get people fired up. I'm sure that he could come over there and get everybody fired up and make sure y'all get to Oklahoma City.
Hey, man, we did play some Ogie Garrido tape the other day, so,
Hardge gets me fired up every day. He's like, come on, lock in. Let's go. We got to do this. And I was like, hey, man, we're on radio, right? We're not going to go to war with anybody.
We're in war every
will
day.
Greater than school, baby.
That's right. That's right. So, Coach, you brought it up. I wanted to bring up Tegan Kavan as well. She has logged a lot of innings for you. As you mentioned, the last couple of weeks, it hadn't been as sharp. Do you think fatigue had a little bit to do with that, or was it just she just got to that point where she just needed to rest a little bit?
Probably a bit of both. We were real cognizant of overusing it, but her innings pitched numbers we're right in line with everybody else in the conference as number 1 type pitcher, and so we felt like it wasn't so much overwork, but just one of those things where you get a little down on yourself and you can kind of not pitch quite as sharp, and she was letting one mistake cascade into others. And so just having that inner excellence to be able to bounce back and carry us through some tough pitches, basically bend but not break. And we're excited to see her back out here this weekend.
Yeah, I know that a lot of folks that I've talked to about this Texas softball team have said the same thing. The one thing that is very consistent is the resiliency of this team and the will to go out there and fight. And before we let you go, I wanted to ask you about Caden Henry. Every time I've watched her play, it seems like year in, year out, she keeps getting better and better and better and understanding her potential as a ball player.
Yeah, she's an electric type player. I mean, there's always something going to be happening. For a kid that, she's not, big in stature, but man, she's got some pop in her bat and she can lay the bunt down and steal bases. She leads that team in stolen bases, plays a really good center field, good arm, good actually. So she's got everything that's needed to be an elite player at this level. And she keeps bringing it, like you said, she keeps getting better and she keeps learning the game. And she's a free spirit too. She's one of those kids that kind of pushes the buttons a little bit, but those are kind of they're fun to have. They keep you on your toes.
You need those. You
definitely need those. And Mark's excited about it because her last name is Henry. So
that is right.
Coach,
Coach,
we want to wish you nothing but the best. You and your team get back to Oklahoma City and defend this land and make sure that everything goes well. So best of luck. Tomorrow, this game will be heard right here on AM 1300, The Zone, starting at 3:30. And best of luck all weekend, Coach.
I appreciate it. Let's get that McCombs Field rocking this weekend, and appreciate your phone call and getting to talk to your listeners.
No doubt about it. There he is, Mike White, head coach of the Texas softball team. And as he mentioned, former #1 team in the land. And now they're on their quest to get back to Oklahoma City. Coming up next, we're going to talk Houston Texans as their schedule was released as well. And we'll let you hear how it was released right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND. That's GRAND. Enter it now.
AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, we have an accident reported DeSalle Road at Scottsdale Lane. Also, another accident reported at FM 969 at Ed Bluestein Boulevard. We always have road construction going on, always in the area, so always please slow down with caution when you do see these zones. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's. In a rush and don't have time to shop for groceries? Let Randall's do the shopping for you. Now at Randall's, get $30 off your first online order. With free pickup or delivery, you will always get the same great prices, deals, and rewards as in-store. Shop Randalls.com or in the app.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CSLB numbers are 837-312-881-317.
Steel GMC in Round Rock. Hi, I'm Steve David, General Manager. Great deals are all we do here at Steel GMC. Our deal is upfront, honest, and a real deal. Not some overhyped web price that when you get there, vanishes like a 30-point lead. Come see us and get a real deal at Steel. Exit 256 in Round Rock, or see for yourself at SteelGMCRoundRock.com.
Shop us first or shop us last. Get a real deal from Steel.
We are professional grade.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Rocket.com is the new home for all things homeownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Football fans, the countdown is on. The rookies are ready. The matchups are heating up, and it's time to plan your game day. TickPick has you covered with no hidden fees and the lowest price guarantee. So whether you're heading to a rivalry game or just want a weekend experience, you'll pay less and get more. TickPick gives you all-in-one pricing and the lowest price guarantee. They're so confident, they back it up with their best price guarantee. Visit TickPick.com and score your seats before the best matchups are gone. $10 off your NFL order with code FS10 on the TickPick app.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Football fans, the countdown is on. The rookies are ready. The matchups are heating up, and it's time to plan your game day. TickPick has you covered with no hidden fees and the lowest price guarantee. So whether you're heading to a rivalry game or just want a weekend experience, you'll pay less and get more. TickPick gives you all-in-one pricing and the lowest price guarantee. They're so confident, they back it up with their best price guarantee. Visit TickPick.com and score your seats before the best matchups are gone. $10 off your NFL order with code FS10 on the TickPick app. 1300 The Zone is your home for the Round Rock Express.
Great stuff by the head coach of the Texas Longhorn softball team, Mike White, as they prepare for the regional that will start tomorrow, as they will get ready to play at 3:30 against Eastern Illinois. But you'll be able to hear all of that right here on AM 1300 The Zone. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks Eats, Drinks, and Scenic Views. They've been a great sponsor for this show and for myself. And of course, we want to be able to give you those opportunities as well. If you want us to represent your business and what it all entails and try to get the word out about your company, make sure you hit us up at Hardball Hardge. And of course, you can follow at the Mark Henry as well. I want to get into this conversation about the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans.
Come on now.
Their schedule released yesterday, and we're going to play the game again about how many wins. Now, let's talk about the Texans first of all. The Texans are a really good football team.
Yeah.
They got a great quarterback situation. I know a lot of folks are looking at them and believing that obviously they have to bounce back.
Right.
They didn't have a great year last year. But for me, looking at these Texans and what they've been able to achieve in such a short period of time, I think this is a great way to start their time off.
Well, they only had 2 problems. One, keeping their wide receivers healthy, and an offensive line that decided to take days off.
Yeah.
And they address both of those situations in all season. I think that the Texans are going to have a big bounce back this year and be one of those, 11, 12 games winners.
Oh, 11 to 12 games. Wow. I mean, I'm sure Houston fans are real excited, but let's hear how excited they are to release their schedule.
14-0, and then Andre Johnson and Courtland Finnegan going at it.
Yo, what's up? Just waiting on the schedule to drop. What's up with you? Nothing, man. Just waiting for the schedule to drop. True. Hey, hold up, another phone ring. What up? Hey, y'all jump on this call, man.
Hey, Parker, you're preaching to the choir. Okay? Hey, I got another call. You getting this?
Yo, what's up, brother?
H is up!
So we're gonna drop that schedule? Drop the schedule now.
Louis Vuitton on Billa when I walk through the rain in the kitchen whipping chicken kind of bread like kind good dog got a Mexican liquor like Johnny Dine. Yeah, what's that? Hello? Is everybody gone? Did I miss it?
They brought back the Wise Up commercial to be able to drop their schedule, and their schedule is pretty favorable. I mean, if you ask me, you start looking at some of these games and the expectations of this team, and you say, okay, what's real and what's fake? So let's get into it, Mark. I mean, you said that you believe that they can win 11 games?
Yeah, Texans, man, they didn't have many issues. That defensively, you know they're going to be sound. Quarterback, sound.
All right.
They got good tight ends. Like the offensive line and wide receiver, only problems. Special teams is solid.
Okay, week 1, at the Rams, on the road.
That's a win.
At the Rams?
At the Rams.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to try to figure this out. Week 2, at home against Tampa Bay.
Ooh, that's a win.
Wow. Okay. Week 3, at Jacksonville. I'll give you that.
That's a win.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
They already won that game.
Yeah, so they too are starting off 3-0, like the Cowboys. At Tennessee, or at home against Tennessee.
That's a win.
Wow. Okay. Then they play at the Baltimore Ravens.
That's a loss.
Okay. That's their first loss at the Ravens. Then they go on the road again at Seattle.
That's a win.
Okay. Then they play at home against the 49ers.
That's a win.
Then they play again they play the Denver Broncos at home.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That might be a loss.
Ooh, might be, okay. Then they play Jacksonville again at home.
They're a doormat.
At Tennessee.
That's a win.
Yeah, they always play Tennessee well, but I don't think that
they sweep them.
They play at home against Buffalo.
That's a loss.
Okay. Then they play at Indianapolis.
That's a win.
Wow. Marcus, you got this? They're playing at Kansas City.
That's a loss.
They're playing at home against Arizona. Wow. The Cowboys and the Texans play Cardinals.
That's a loss.
Man, you really like them that much, huh?
Cardinals going to be good
Raiders
this year.
Play the Raiders at home.
That's a win.
Then they play at the Chargers.
Ooh, that's a loss.
And they finish the season at home against Indy.
That's a win.
Wow.
That's 11-6.
He said 11 wins.
That's 11-6.
Yeah. Yeah. You feel that strong after
the
you
only
sat
thing
here,
that I have a problem with is beating the Chargers twice. So they may have to lose one of those Charger games.
They shouldn't.
They only play the Chargers
They only
once.
play the Chargers once.
Okay, then
Yeah. So okay. So going back to what you said a minute ago, you were talking about this team and how they needed to shore up their offensive line. You thought they addressed that. I don't think they addressed it that much because Laramie Tunsil was huge for them. He was a huge part of their success.
He was a black hole
False start on the offense.
The reason that Laramie Tunsil, I say, was a black hole is he commanded so much money that they couldn't disperse that across that offensive line, and you had the other side weak. Green did not show up. He was a mistake.
Wow.
That was a bad pick. And coming out of A&M, I thought he was going to be a monster, and he wasn't.
All right, so here's their offensive line as of today. Cam Robinson, Titus Howard, Jared Patterson, Juice Shrugs, and Blake Fisher.
All guys that run block better than the offensive line that they had last year.
So you believe that they're going to have to run the ball that much?
They will run the ball more this year because of this offensive line. It's going to be proven early in the season that they can run the ball. They have a really, really good running back that I feel like
Joe Mixon
will benefit from this new offensive line, and he'll be better than he was last year. I don't think that he'll wear down because he was getting hit in the backfield and he was making plays.
They brought in Christian Kirk as a wide receiver. They drafted Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins in the second and third round. They brought in another offensive lineman, Esri, at the second round of this year's draft. They brought in a running back in the fourth round. They drafted a quarterback, which I still don't understand how Graham Mertz got drafted before some of these other quarterbacks that were out there. They brought in Trent Brown as an undrafted player. And then they traded for Ed Ingram on the offensive line. So you're believing that this team is going to win 11 games.
They're going to run the ball. Joe Mixon is going to be something else. And as far as a receiver filling the spot for Dale, you couldn't find a better guy than Kirk. Kirk is a deep threat wide receiver. He opens the top, and he can run not only the deep routes, but he can run the post too. So I'm going heavily for Houston this year.
I'm seeing that. I'm shocked at this. You got the Cowboys going 7-10, and you got the Texans going 11-6.
8-0. Remember that last game?
We haven't corrected you on that last game yet.
Well, you got to correct that.
We're leaving you at 7-10.
Because I told you that you said Giants. I didn't hear you say Giants.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know who I heard you say, but
well, we're gonna give you a chance to talk about it because
Giants
coming up
can't
next,
beat our Club X team.
Coming up next, we have the world's strongest man bringing you his world's strongest take right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300. The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, as you make your way around town this morning, we still have that accident reported on DeSalle Road at Scottsdale Lane. Also, another accident reported, FM 969 at Ed Bluestein Boulevard, both wrecks causing no delays at this moment. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
When divorce puts your life's work on the line, Cordell & Cordell is ready to help you protect it. As a business owner, you've dedicated years building a legacy now at risk due to divorce. Let our experienced family law attorneys fight for you and that legacy. Cordell & Cordell is one of the nation's largest family law firms, Call to schedule your consultation today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it.
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Partly cloudy skies for your Thursday, a high of 98. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 75. Friday, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, a high in the upper 90s.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer, you can conquer your construction needs, and you can powerfully break through concrete. Get the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like Alt 2K. A commercial-free look back to alternative from the 2000s.
It just takes some time, little girl in the middle of the ride.
With Foo Fighters, Weezer, Linkin Park, Green Day, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more.
Someone like you.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alt 2K, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. The Longhorns live here.
You heard it. That's what he do. And that means he breaks it down like a brother. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's greatest man, the Mark Henry, brings his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
All right. It's time for the world's strongest take. Marcus. Back then, they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Guys, my take today is brought to you by my fandom of the Dallas Cowboys. How could I not be a Cowboys fan? When, since I was a kid, I got to see the primetime games. We always had a couple of big-time stars on our team. But most of all, the people that didn't love the Cowboys, they hated the Cowboys so much that when we did beat them, it was just sweeter. It just felt hard. You know what I'm talking about? When Stephen A. Smith comes on ESPN and he says, the Cowboys lost again. It hurts my soul. But when we win, and he's sitting there with his face all smushed in, I feel on top of the world. I'm forced to be a Cowboy fan. This season, the schedule came out yesterday. And this season, who's opening the season? The Cowboys and the Eagles. They put the Super Bowl champion against America's team. Okay, that's a good start. And then you fast forward. Where do they put the Cowboys on Christmas?
I mean, what you think?
Where do they put the Cowboys on Thanksgiving? How many games are the Cowboys having in prime time?
6.
6 primetime games. I'm forced to be a Cowboy fan. And I'm going to tell you this.
Wait,
my
are you
take
forced
is this.
to be it?
Oh, yeah. I don't have a choice. Because not only are the Cowboys above average team, everybody else hates them, and it makes it even sweeter.
Cowboy fans hate Cowboy fans.
You mean the Dallas Cowboys hate the Cowboy fans? But Hardge, my take is this. Jerry Jones is the main reason why the Cowboys don't win, because he puts too much of an emphasis on the business of being a Cowboy rather than the wins and the coaching and the mentality. You go to the coach and say, listen, I want a culture of face eaters. You go to Detroit, why did Dan Campbell not coach the Cowboys? I would have done everything I could to get Dan Campbell. He was a cowboy. He wanted to eat people's faces, bite kneecaps.
But would you have wanted him to be a Cowboy not knowing what you know now? I mean, yeah, it looks, in hindsight, you're like,
That's what they did with Schottenheimer. What do I know? What did he do?
Very fair. Very fair.
What has he done? Besides being an assistant, he haven't even been a damn coordinator.
Yep.
So I'm just saying the passion and the mentality is what makes Detroit Detroit. I want the Cowboys to have that. And I think that they can. I think this season is when they turn the corner.
Wait a minute. You just said they're going to go 8 and 9 now. 8 and 9.
8 and 9. Because they don't have it.
But what corner they turning?
They turn the corner in the sense that, you hear how quiet it is? Watch this. That's the Cowboys. It's never been that way. It's always loud, loud, loud. And I might be wrong, Hardge. I've been wrong before about 8 and 9. I told you there was a 3-game cushion of whether it could go either way. They could beat the Cardinals. They could beat Denver. They could.
Yeah.
It changes everything. They go from 8 and 9 to being 10-6? Like you can, I can live with that.
Okay.
Because that means you're going to the playoffs. Playoffs?
Yeah.
What say you?
I like I said, I have them winning more than 7 games. I don't know if I got them going 9-8. I'll put them at 9-8. But the Cowboys, I mean, they use the moniker America's team. I don't believe that anymore. I think that there's some other teams. I think Kansas City, to be honest with you, has turned themselves into America's team because they are must-watch TV every single time.
Well, they used to be the Dallas team. So
yeah,
that's
Dallas
all right.
Texans, yeah. So you look at it, and we talk about primetime games. Speaking of America's team, the Kansas City Chiefs have 7. Cowboys have 6. You know who doesn't have primetime games? Take a wild guess. Cleveland, Tennessee, and New Orleans. No primetime games. One primetime game, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Carolina. 1. The team, Cowboys, are the only team besides Kansas City with 6 or more primetime games. So we are Cowboy fans. Well, I am still strong. You trying to figure out which way you're going to go. You sitting on the fence. But at the end of the day, the reason why the Cowboys are playing that many primetime games is because people love to hate them. So they're going to watch. That don't mean you have to be. You're not forced to be. You could be sitting on that other side with all them other people throwing your hate.
I don't want to hate them. I don't want to hate them.
Yeah, we don't want you to hate us
I just don't want
either.
the pain, man.
But I want you to ride with us, Mark.
Why do I care so much?
You're going to care. You know why? Because that's what you do. My man with the world's strongest take. When we come back, we'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick. Can they force a Game 7? You know who they are. Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
As the weather heats up, the action on the diamond gets even hotter.
Here's the 0-1. Swung onto the ball, hit well. Out toward right, and you can say goodnight to it.
Tune into Longhorn Baseball all season long.
The stretch in the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Got him on the slider. And the Longhorns with back-to-back strikeouts.
From the road to the dish. This is Longhorn Baseball on 1300 The Zone.
Bonus bucks. Bonus bucks. Once you win $1,000 in bonus bucks, you'll have more money to use on your fantasy leagues. Bonus bucks. The winning happens every weekday, right here
on 1300 The Zone.
Listen to something authentically Austin, the JB and Sandy podcast on the iHeartRadio app.
Well, as you make your way around town this morning, we still have that accident reported on DeSalle Road at Scottsdale Lane. Also, another accident reported, FM 969 and Ed Bluestein Boulevard, both wrecks causing no delays at this moment. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you want the lowest price. With their lowest price guarantee, if you find a qualifying lower price on the same item, they'll match it. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how they'll match price at Lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Attention construction superintendents, contractors, and event planners. If you're in the market for a temporary rental fence, call Viking Fence today. The same company that is so reliable with permanent fences can save you time, money, and headaches. Located in Central Texas since 1972, Viking is highly committed to prompt and courteous customer service. Our flexible pricing plans allow you to fix your costs or hit your budget. Ask about our damage waiver rate that will eliminate untimely chargebacks. Excellent work, great service, and an honest reputation. Call Viking Fence today at 837-6411 or visit us online at vikingfence.com. Again, call 837-6411 or visit us at vikingfence.com. When you think temporary rental fence, think Viking.
When you think of hot, you might think about the tragic time you ate too much wasabi. Or about getting into your car on a summer day when it feels more like stepping into a sauna. But heat can work in your favor, like during Verizon Red Hot Deal Days. Get hundreds of hot deals on all your favorites, like iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence, Apple Watch Series 10, and iPad, on any plan. Only until May 28th for new and existing customers. Offer available on My Plan. Only at Verizon.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. But hurry, protest deadlines end this week. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%, and that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now, free. Don't pay unless you save. But hurry, protest deadlines end this week. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000.
I want you to ask yourself right now, how am I actually doing? Because it's a question that we rarely ask ourselves. All of May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, and on the psychology of your 20s, we are taking a vulnerable look at why mental health is so hard to talk about. Prepare for our conversations to go deep.
I spent the majority of my teenage years and my 20s just feeling absolutely terrified.
So this Mental Health Awareness Month, open the free iHeartRadio app, search the psychology of your 20s, and listen now.
Well, I'm 67 years old. I lost 71 pounds. I was a size 46 pants 2 years ago, and I've been taking it, and I'm a size 36 pants now.
Congratulations, Pat, on losing 71 pounds and 10 inches off your waistline. Now listen to Brian's results.
My sleeping is better. My joint pains are much better, and the weight loss is coming along. I'm about 13 to 14 pounds lighter. It has reduced my sugar cravings big time. Sugar cravings and reduced joint pains, and those two are big time.
Outstanding results, Brian. Guys, since 2004, men have chosen Andro 400 for one reason: results. Andro 400 can help you safely lose belly fat, reduce joint pain, gain energy, and boost your testosterone. We guarantee it. Start today and get free shipping on any order. Go to andro400.com for more true testimonials, before and after photos, and special discounts. Only available on andro400.com. andro400.com.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
The Round Rock Express play here. 1300 The Zone.
What an exciting show that we've had today here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 13. The Zone. I want to give a shout out to Eric Henry of Boys 24/7 joining us to talk about the big matchup this weekend as Texas heads to Northern Oklahoma to start it off today at 6:30. I want to give a shout out to Coach Mike White of Texas Softball as he came on and talked about this weekend's matchup and the hosting the regional for the third consecutive time, 9th overall for the Texas Longhorn softball team. I wanted to talk about this because Game 7s are exciting. A lot of folks love Game 7. Everybody says the two best words in sports. But can the Denver Nuggets force a Game 7 against the Thunder tonight with their matchup. 7:30 is going to be the tip-off tonight. Can the Joker, somebody that you said need to sit out for a little bit, and
no, I
get
said
some
he
rest.
needs to get some minutes.
Yeah,
he needs
yeah.
to get some rest before that fourth quarter, so he don't look like Willie Lump Lump.
Okay. Well, the Thunder, they're 32-8 on the season away on the road. And the Nuggets are 26-15 at home this year. OKC is favored by 4.5. Do they put the Nuggets out of their misery?
I think they do. I want to watch the game in an environment that's not on my couch.
Why is that?
Because I want it to be a sporting event. Like when I'm at home watching, I feel like I'm watching for work purposes.
Well, you are.
I know I am, but I'm just saying. I want it to feel different. I want to feel that excitement and hear the fans cheer for each one of their teams. So I got to find somewhere today to go watch that outside because I want to scream and yell.
What? I mean,
we outside.
But why you want to scream and yell? Because I don't see you doing that.
I do. I get excited in games, especially when they get real close.
Yeah.
If it's a blowout now, I'm gonna just go home.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, most of these games have been at that level.
There's no chicken wings at my house either.
Okay. I knew it.
You knew it had ulterior motive?
I'm like,
no, I'm joking. I'm joking. I want to be in an environment that's conducive to the excitement of a Game 7.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Game 7. Two crazy words.
Yeah, Game 7 is the matchup in which I continue to look at what's going on. I believe that this is a huge opportunity for a lot of people. Game 7, I look at it and I say that this can be one of those big time matchups to where you look at the matchup and you say, all right, who can do what in this matchup? Is this a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander type of game? Is he that guy? DJ called him a free throw merchant. He said he just acting like he's getting fouled all the time.
Well, because he is.
I mean, but he's seeking,
how about this?
He's seeking it.
How about this? They say, listen, before the game, everything is so tight, we have no idea who's going to be the MVP. Whoever wins the game is the MVP.
Okay.
And then you have Joker, and you hand him the trophy after the game, the MVP trophy, whoever wins.
Yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. So, speaking of the MVP, who do you think deserves the MVP?
I would say Shea.
Okay.
And the reason I say Shea is because it's been a while since somebody that's done what he's done. I guess it was Jordan that was being able to score 5 40-point games in the playoffs.
He's I'm talking about season MVP.
Well, the season MVP, you almost would have to give it to Joker because of the triple doubles and the statistics. The only department that Shea is above him is steals and scoring.
And his team winning.
Yeah, that matters.
Yeah, I'm like,
but they both in the same game. So you won 10 games more than me. Big whoop.
That matters. We talking regular season. I'm not talking playoffs. They are the overall number 1 seed.
Yeah.
They are the team that everybody's looking at.
So what is the crowd? That's when you're talking criteria, like what is it, scoring, or are you going overall greatness?
I just think that he is the MVP because number 1, he did have the best team in the NBA. He also led his team, and he does everything for his team. Shea Gilgeous.
Joker don't?
Of course. Joker's won it every year, though. I mean, this is the type
so you're bored with him being great.
No, I love watching him play. I love watching the Joker get down.
He did better this year than he did the 2 years he won the MVPs.
And so did Shea Gilgeous.
Shea has never been in a MVP candidate. I mean,
but
category.
He had his best season this season. His numbers went up. Everything about Shea went up. And now his team, I know it don't matter because it's a regular season award, but his team needed him and he's shown up. Joker has nobody else to help him. We've seen that. Jamal Murray, hot first half, can't find him with a flashlight. You cannot find him. He's like, pew, out of here that fast.
Out of here.
That's how fast he's out of here.
So give me
Game 7 tonight. Game 6 tonight. I believe.
Let's go watch
that Denver will be. Man, I sleep so I can come in here and perform for these people. We come in here to perform for the people.
We got to step up.
I want to thank the people. I had a rough one last night. I want to thank the people for joining us today. I want to thank Mark Henry. I want to thank Marcus for holding us down and trying to keep us on track. I want to thank Mike White and Eric Henry. Tomorrow, we have Zach Sim of Orange Bloods. We got Ann Parker Coleman of KView Sports. She will be on tomorrow. We'll be recapping Texas baseball and previewing Texas softball.
Let's go.
And just remember this, folks. Don't believe everything you see because even salt looks like sugar. Peace. Graduation season is here and summertime's right behind it. Celebrate big with a new ride from Covert Ford and Hutto. Right now, $14,421 off of MSRP on a new 2024 Ford Expedition Limited. $12,340